So how do you hit a better squat? How do you meet that standard of being about double body weight? Well, if you're not at that point yet, then a few tips that I would recommend. The first one would be potentially looking at heel supported squat shoes. As a coach, one of the things that I notice the most is when people squat, their heels rise. And if you think about that, when you squat down and your heels rise, it's because you're leaning forward or existing on the front of your foot. But if you have those heel supported shoes, when you lean forward, the heels are gonna allow you to have better surface area with the floor, and you'll have a better potential to squat more weight because of that. But even if you wore heel supported shoes, I think that you really want to also think about hip and ankle mobility. If you have bad hip mobility, you can't sit back into your squat, which corresponds to your heels. That could be a limiter as well. Or your ankles might not have a lot of flexibility. So when you do squat, maybe your ankle can only withstand so much range of motion to where you do fall forward because of that, and that's a consequence. So definitely doing hip mobility, ankle mobility, foam rolling, heel raised, wall stretch, those are great things to help with improving your squat and to be better. Another thing you can do is pause squats. Pause squats put a lot of strain on the hardest part of the lift, which is the bottom part. And if you can pause, even with light weight, you can learn kind of how to be stronger in that bottom position and how your body should feel in that bottom position. Also, we're all built differently. So some people are born with more hip or ankle mobility, and some people are born with longer legs or shorter legs. So if you have shorter legs, that means the movement's gonna be shorter, but if you have longer legs, it's gonna last longer. That's probably why people who play in the NBA might have a tough time squatting, because they have to do such a great range of motion because they're taller. So if you have longer legs, maybe consider widening your stance, because the wider you get, the shorter you become, and it could potentially cause your levers to do less work through less range of motion. It's still a lot of work, but that could be something to think about too. As I mentioned, I'm a coach and I have my lifters record their lifts. That could be another great tool for you too. If you record your lifts, you can watch after the fact, you can self-diagnose any problem that you might have, and then make those corrections not only after a session, but during a session too. You know, everybody's on TikTok and Instagram showing their lifts. Use that to your advantage. Don't just show off your lifts, but use that to your advantage to get better. And speaking of getting better with squatting, sometimes it just really relies on squatting more. If you want to be better at bench, you bench more. If you want to be better at squat, you squat more. That stimulus dies off when you've kind of been exposed to the barbell for a long time. But if you're a newer lifter and you're trying to get to that double body weight standard, doing more squats, whether it's high volume or 2 times a week, those can be good opportunities for you to refine the movement pattern and to be a better squatter. So big thing overall, the squat standard, if you're 19, 29, 39, is to try to hit a double body weight squat. And if you're struggling to hit that double body weight squat, there are some things you should consider. Heel supported shoes, ankle, hip mobility, squatting wider, squatting more narrow, watching your lifts, and then also making sure that you potentially program more squatting to master the movement, master the mechanics, and to get better at the squat. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Check us out on YouTube for more information, and hopefully we've improved your weightlifting journey today. Thank you.